Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody, and welcome to the shit show. We are in official countdown now. I want to say we were at 99 days, maybe 98 days by the time I recorded this one, and I want to say, let's see, hold on a second. Alexa, how many days until April 12th?
Saturday, April 12th, 2025 is in 93 days.
That's it. We're down to 93 days now by the time I'm voiceovering this. I've slowed down a little bit on the video because I'm working on the weekends with my coach a little bit more. So I'm only getting one workout at my gym and then one workout at Signature. And they don't allow tripods. I'm not going to bring my wife every time I go to work out and do all that shit. So, I'm going to see if I could do some other update videos as we go. This first set of pull-ups sucks, but we are doing back today. I want to look at widening out some stuff, especially some of the front lat spread shots, abdominals and thighs, stuff like that. We started doing posing sessions every single day. We are posing, which, by the way, this is progressive just like anything else. So we started at 6 minutes. That got me through two routines or two quarter turns, and then two mandatories. So now I think second weekend we're at 7 minutes. Speeding up a little bit of the quarter turn so I could set faster, because I do believe that the faster you get into the pose, the better off you're going to be. They want to see the pose. So if you can get into the pose quickly and get ahead of the curve and do all that, look, I'm not going to disagree that some fanfare and some movement and being able to transition through poses isn't important. I think that it is, but the judges and even if you listen to the Real Bodybuilding podcast with Fuad, he had Steve Weinberger on. He's like, no, just get in the pose. It definitely hurts when you're standing around doing all of these intricate things in order to show off all of this shit. Without getting into the actual pose. If there's 5 guys on stage and 3 are in the pose and 2 are jerking around, there's no helping that, right? The 3 guys are ready to go and they're holding the pose and they're ready, they're rocking and rolling. The idea that you spend 30 seconds to 45 seconds setting in, doing all that other stuff, and then holding the pose for 15 seconds, it's not great. So 15 seconds, get set, 30 to 45 seconds, hold the fucking pose. So that's kind of what we're doing and we're progressing at. So now that we're doing posing, I get to really see a little bit more. I've gotten very lean very quick during prep, so starting to really see a lot more come out. I will probably do a little bit of a sneak peek to some of the posing. I'm not 100% ready. I'm not 100% proud of it yet. It's not at the caliber where I'd like to see it. But at the end of the day, I do think sharing that with you guys as we go through. You guys are going to want to see body updates. I want to see body updates, and I want to, again, for transparency and just documenting it. Kind of want to see it, but we are doing it on video. I have from day 1 to day 8 now, or 9. It's the 9th of the month of January, so we started January 1 and we're moving forward. So that's what prep is looking like. So 93 days to go and we're posing. So this workout is going to be focused on really exerting the muscles that I want to show a little bit more in regards to my poses, my mandatories specifically. So quarter turns, mandatories. We've got some really great back development. We've got some really good shoulder development, but we do need to kind of work on some of the intricacies that are there for the posing, right? So I talk about this a lot, right? So the idea that even with this exercise, as you stretch out and then come back, you think about your lat spread, right? This is a lat dominated exercise, very much like the pull-ups or the lat pull-downs are. These are lat-dominated exercises. This is the largest muscle in your back. It's the one that has its own fucking pose, the lat spread. But your workouts should, if you're looking to compete, your workouts should dictate along with your mandatories and your quarter turns. Now that we're in prep, a lot of the workout is going to go really toward that while we're still adding on as much poundage as we can. I'm still sitting at 250 to 251. I broke below 250 one day last week, so it's 249.6. But I'm maintaining, between 249 and 252, let's just say, and we're leaning out as we go, which you'll see through some of this video. I'll strip that t-shirt off, I'm sure. But we are definitely getting fucking leaner, and it's getting a little freaky. It's getting a little fun, and I'm having a lot of fun with it now. So again, kind of looking at posing, right? So rear delt development, mid upper trap development. So think of your rear double bicep, right? And getting set into a rear double bicep. So I'm definitely, especially after my last couple of workouts with Coach, definitely moving a little bit faster now. Want to be able to get more into my workouts that I can focus on. More compound movements while you're bulking, more intricate movements and supersetting while you're in prep. I don't want to call this cutting. I don't think, I want to say the last 30 to 45 days is really when you're cutting. That's when you're really depleting your energy levels. You're really depleting your carbohydrates if you need to. The idea that I've gotten much leaner going into prep than I've ever been before, which it's been 12 years. And then before that, it was another 12 years. 12 years seems to be that timeline. But the idea that I'm leaner going into this prep than I've ever been in any prep has made this significantly easier for me to look at my diet. I've stayed at 3,100 calories every single day, which I'm excited about. So the idea that I'm still able to get 350 to 400 grams of carbs in and get 350 grams of protein in, which I know is high, but doing what I can throughout the day to get to maximize that, and then keeping my fats a little bit around 50 or so. I don't need the fat. I don't really care for the fat. There may be a day or two that I spike to 60 or even 70, but I also want to get used to that, right? So I want to get used to low fat in my diet because I really don't necessarily need it. So supersetting the hammer strength individual low row while I'm progressing up in weight, and then supersetting a high row because, again, of where my elbow positioning is. You can see that my elbows are a little bit higher. I want to be able to hit the rear delt, want to hit that outer, that real top of the ladder, insert where it goes underneath the armpit, and then hit that mid trap. So lat spread, double, rear double bicep, right? So that's the goal as I'm looking at these two exercises back and forth. So we start off with a pull-up, then we go into 2 rows, and then I'm probably going to go into a pull-down after this. I really honestly can't remember the whole workout. This workout was about 4 or 5 days ago, and I just really haven't had time to do a voiceover, so I'm happy I've carved out the time to do this. The video frequency hopefully will advance a little bit more, but again, I'm not getting a ton of recording in. Hold, right? So the weight's not crazy. You guys have seen me do 5 plates either side. I'm able to really hold and concentrate, squeeze that muscle, and get a nice big elongated stretch while I'm resisting against it pulling me back, right? So now we're really starting to get that motion down and understand what this looks like. Again, these are dramatic differences. If you guys go back 6 months in my videos, you'll see the dramatic differences between those really more heavy Dorian Yates kind of fucking, or Branch Warren style workouts to now it's much slower, much more concentrated, a little lighter, but the emphasis on the muscle growth and the stretch and the negative is significantly higher than it was when I was just looking to pack on the pounds and get dense and fucking crazy granular muscle. So here, now we're looking at refining all of that. Are we still going to grow? Fuck yeah, we are. We're going to grow into the show. I just want to constantly be growing. I don't want to just stop and say, all right, cool, I'm good. Let me just reduce some fat. That's not how that works. We're little science experiments, or in my case, I'm a big fucking science experiment, where we're able to pack on muscle, increase muscle mass while reducing body fat. It's fucking science experiment. That's an anomaly, right? So, and if you don't understand how much of an anomaly that is for the human body, then, I don't know what to tell you. You're on the wrong channel. And I will go back to the understanding that these gray t-shirts are very much like gray sweatpants. Kind of gives makes everything look a little, there's some cool optical illusions going on here with the gray t-shirt of, everything's looking a little bit more developed. Everything looks a little more cappy, and, you get deeper insets and cuts and all the rest. It's fun shit. I think we increased the weight on this set. Nope, we didn't. Okay, good. So toggling back and forth, slow, controlled, and holding, and now we're, again, still slow and controlled. This is slow in comparison to what, I've done in the past, but we're not doing the hold. I think I'm already getting a little gassed out. I'd love to hear in the comments section if you guys want to know what I'm eating for prep. I might do a video. That's an easy video for me to kind of do of, now that I'm in prep, I can kind of go through what I'm eating on a daily basis. I'm eating every 2.5 hours religiously. I have alarm clock set up on my phone. I've got my meal prep down to a fucking science. Everything's done. All I'm really doing is moving my shit out of the freezer that I've prepped and getting the rice cooked every 3 days or so, because rice goes bad quick, by the way. Rice is disgusting when it goes bad, by the way, as well. It smells. It's fucking horrifying. It's really not a lot of fun. But if you guys want an easy video and me put together what my meal prep looks like, which is a little different than everybody else's, to be honest, because I've had some fun, unique recipes thrown my way that I'm able to modify and get in while I'm still losing the fat that I want, but still having some flavor and some taste and not being painful. I also bought a special kitchen tool that I'm having fun with. So comment below. And while you're doing that, by the way, like, subscribe. If you've come across this video for the first time, like, subscribe, share, hit the little notification button. Look, guys, it's free to you, but it does mean the world to me. As I'm going into the show, I'm adding more and more followers on and subscribers on all my channels, and I'm loving it. I know the freakier I get, the better off we're going to be of attracting attention, because you guys just want to fucking see freaks. So I get that. But the idea that I'm going to be freakish in the next couple of weeks and have these videos out, get ahead of the curve. Like, subscribe, follow, notification button, share, do all that. So I've really grown to like these partial deads on this specific piece of hammer strength equipment. And by the way, if you guys look outside, it's really early in the morning. The daybreak is just coming. The sun's coming out. It's probably around 6:45, 7 o'clock in the Northeast right now. So definitely waking up early, energized, get my pre-workout meal in, do all my shit that I need to do, my supplements and whatnot, and get to the gym, which I'm more and more excited about going to the gym now, because again, I can see things happening in real time, which is just amazing. And that's the fun part about leaning out, is you get to see changes happening while you're in the middle of your training sessions. So these partial deads, by the way, lower lat, lower back, density and thickness. As I come back, you can't see it really, but as I come back, I'm flexing my lats out underneath my armpits in order to think about like more of a abdominal and thigh shot, and the front of that lat that pops out. My front lat spread is fucking killer. My rear lat spread's great too, but I want to be able to just refine a little bit more with when the lats pop on the front double bicep and the abdominals and thighs. I really want to have that be consistent across the board throughout my whole posing routine. So these partial deadlifts have really been something else. And look, you get to hit a little bit of the glute while you're doing this. I am squeezing my ass, but it's not a focus point. Lower back, lower lat is my focal point. A little bit of rhomboid and trap. So. I don't know what these guys are talking about.
I'm working on the cardio. Working on the cardio to get the motor, a little more gas in the motor.
forgot my headphones today when I went to the gym, and that was a little nightmarish, and I just didn't want to drive back home. I just didn't have the time today. So the other thing too is I'm getting busier as prep is going forward. So there's a few sets of that partial deadlift, really just focused in on that, and I'm going to go ahead and focus in on this as well. I felt doing, again, going back to the abdominals and thighs shots, your front lat spread shots, all the rest. Going back to actually traditional pullovers is never a bad thing. I'm still doing rope pullovers and bar pullovers and pulley pullovers, but the dumbbell pullover, she's a little brick shit house, by the way, and she's cool. We've had some good conversation, but anyway, back to doing just a regular standard dumbbell pullover. The stretch you get here, I'd love to think that the pulleys are doing this, but frankly, they can't, especially with the kind of weight and resistance you can use with the dumbbell versus the pulley to stay stable, because you're not having to focus on keeping your body at a certain angle and doing all that. You really just have to fucking plant your feet, get your upper back on this pad, make sure you're nice and stable. It's just moving the dumbbell from there to where it is to there to then into motion is a little bit more exertion than you would with the pulley, but fuck it. The actual motion itself and the actual workout or the exercise itself is fucking great. I don't know where that extra music is coming from. By the way, some of these trainers around my gym for some reason carry around this giant, what I would call a boombox, but it's a giant Bluetooth speaker. Huge, massive. It's like the size of a suitcase. Why the fuck they need to move that around with their clients, or have a couple of people working out in like the TRX area or whatever, and just have this blasting music for the rest of the gym to hear is a little ridiculous. God, even looking at this from like 4 or 5 days ago versus what I saw today at the gym is dramatic. This is cool. If you guys look back even just a few weeks ago on my videos, which I implore you to do so, the idea of where I was versus where I am, especially with all the posing coming on. Look at that. Fucking lats are getting all the vascularity in them now. I'm just fucking stoked about all that. And the idea that you get leaner and you get to see all this happen almost overnight is just fucking fun. I'm smiling as I'm kind of talking through this, because frankly, it's a bunch of cool shit going on. Bodies are amazing when you really are focusing in and getting right down to the nitty gritty. It's really pretty stellar. There's my neighbor. He just showed up. He's usually there at like 6 a.m. So me beating him in, it's kind of tough. Somebody had asked me in the comments when I was doing these on one of my other videos, like, isn't this a chest exercise? Are you getting a nice stretch in the chest? Yeah. If you bring the dumbbell up and contract your chest, I guess you're getting a little bit of a squeeze because of where like your stop position is. But I've never really focused on doing that as much as I have. You could see the lat insertion working and engaging as I go back. So you understand how it's contracting when you're coming forward, and you're hyper squeezing it, and you're understanding where the control is and what should be going on here. This is a fucking back exercise. Pullovers are a back exercise. Dumbbell pullovers, pulley, whatever. It is not a chest exercise. Can you get a little bit of like chest pump? I guess, but look, that's for all my mirror boys, which means anything that you see in the mirror is overdeveloped, and everything you can't see in the mirror is underdeveloped, right? So I did not coin that, but you guys can understand. Look at the bicep. Fuck that. That line, I don't know. That line's gotten smaller and my arm's gotten bigger. Combination of the both, whatever. But camera angle's shit, but you're focusing in on my left non-dominant arm, and it still looks a little bit more freaky than it did yesterday. So excited about all that shit. Anyway, went into a bicep curl here, but what the fuck was I talking? Oh, Mirror Boys, right? So Mirror Boys, when I used to work in the gym, and you guys can see these guys. I see them now too when I'm in the gym. Mirror Boys, you can see it in the mirror. It's overdeveloped, right? So biceps are huge, front shoulders or front delts are huge, chest is great. They might dip over to the rest of the shoulder and the tricep. That's it. They're overdeveloped in those areas, and this is where the physique class came from, essentially. They can't see their legs. They got pants. The best guy in the world, he's got some fucking legs to him now, and he's balanced and all the rest. But Mirror Boys are guys in tank tops that, say, hey, look, I want to look good in a tank top. Cool, done deal. Upper chest, a little bit of shoulder, a little bit of bicep, tricep, you're done. Forget the back, forget the legs, forget anything else that's going on. It's no big deal, right? So even though, your back is, that's the exertion of strength. That's what, when the opposite sex or the attracting sex is looking at your body, your back is the dominant part of strength. When people are looking at discipline and all the rest, that's, abdominals. When, they're looking at what, masculinity may look like, that's broad shoulders. Look, big arms kind of come with the territory. Once you really get a great developed back and shoulders, your arms should be able to do what they do with those things really being hyper focused on. So with a back and bicep workout, look, I'm doing 3-4 sets of each exercise for bicep. I'm only choosing two, maybe 3 bicep exercises to do, and it's really been great to induce growth because my biceps are already crazily fatigued. You can see I'm not using a massive amount of weight here either. I got 10s on either side. I'm not swaying. I'm not doing any of that. Keeping my elbows fixed. I'm doing more or less like a halfway mark, but you guys can see specifically, and look, the camera setup is shit, but the best part about this camera setup, you can see the bicep fucking working. You can see the brachialis working. Triceps completely deleted from this. Forearm has very little to do with it, and watch just the bicep actually work within this. That's what you want. You want the bicep working within this motion. We're going to drop set down to just the bar, right? So look, my concentration on this is way better than yours. If you're using 2 or 3 times the weight and just swinging it around, my form is what is going to induce growth. Your form, if you're swinging that bar around, yeah, you're going to get a little bit of spike. You're going to get a little bit of growth, but you're not going to get what you want. I guarantee that. Concentrated, slow, controlled, hyper resistant on the negative. And as you really come up, you're contracting that bicep as if you're trying to flex it for everybody. That's the way to do a bicep curl in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if it's preacher, I don't care if it's easy bar, I don't care if it's straight bar, pulley, whatever it is. That's the controlled motion you want. Next thing we do, and again, I'm going to be doing preachers until day of show, right? So preacher curls are great for peak development, inner outer development, and just rounding out, like making that softball sewn into your arm look. Preacher curls are the way to be. I do individual because my right is more dominant than my left, and I want to make sure that I'm starting to balance that out the closer we get to the show a little bit more. So I tend to start with my left and see how many reps I can do on my left, and I match that up with my right. If you start on your right, it's more dominant. And look, most of you guys are right-handed. You start on your right and you get 10, but you can go to your left and only get 8. Well, you're gonna keep that imbalance up indefinitely, right? So that's not something where you want to go. And I think we're only doing 2 sets of this because, frankly, at this point, I'm just fucking gassed out. I'm watching my video time tick down pretty quick, and I'm like, yep, I think I'm only doing 2 sets of this shit. So those barbell curls concentrated, and then obviously doing the preacher curls like this was more than enough for me to feel exactly what I need to feel and be fucking really just burnt out. So yeah, this one more set. That's all I got on my recording. So guys, again, I know I said it in the middle of the video, but like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, comment away, guys. I want to hear some more comments. Somebody gave me a comment about crowding the rack at some point. I get that. Fair point. All right. I'll do my best not to do that shit. I do have pretty insane gym etiquette, but it doesn't hit the time all the time, but whatever. But guys, thanks for joining me. Comment, questions, do all that shit down below. Until next time, guys. I'm going to see you in the fucking gym.